So you keep hearing that skills are the way to superpower Claude, and you've heard that GitHub is the place to find them, but you're not quite sure how to get them from GitHub into Claude. How do you get this all working? So let me show you. It is super easy. Little word of warning before we dive in and start downloading random skills from the internet and installing them into Claude. Now, there have been instances where skills have had some dodgy instructions inside them, hidden inside them. So 2 things. Number 1 is ideally we want to be installing skills from people that we trust. So people that we know and that we trust. And number 2, we want to read through those instructions before we install the skill. So if you've found a skill on GitHub, you might see something like this. So you've found a whole lot of folders that look like this. Each one of these folders contains a skill, and a skill is really simply a set of instructions. It's a way of teaching Claude to do a particular job in a particular way. So if I jump in here to this hook writing skill, I can actually see a file that sits here with a .md at the end. This is the file type that we can install into Claude. Now, if I was to click on that file type while I'm here in GitHub, it actually opens up and tells me all of the instructions that are inside this skill. It literally lets me read word for word what it is that I'm telling Claude to do. This is what you want to read through before you install that skill into Claude. As I said, there's been known to have like dodgy instructions if you've connected Claude up to your files, for example, or maybe your bookkeeping software. You know, there could be personal information in there that inside the skill is telling Claude to take that information and email it on to someone or do, you know, anything dodgy. And so we want to make sure that we are not telling Claude to do things we don't want it to do. And I also have heard that those dodgy instructions could be hidden as code as well. So be very wary about what skills you're actually installing into Claude. But I'm happy with this. I've had a read through and I thought this sounds really good. I need to improve my hooks for social media, so I think this one could be very helpful. So how do we get this from here over into Claude? Well, it's really easy. So let's go back a couple of steps and let's go back to that view where we could see all of the different skills sitting here. And see on the right, we've got this green button here. If we click on that, it actually gives us the opportunity to download a zip file with all of these skills in here. So if I click on download zip, that's going to download that whole file for me. Now, depending on your browser settings, it might just jump into your downloads folder. I've got mine set up so that it asks me where I want to store it, and I'm just going to pop it on my desktop for now. And once that's downloaded, I'm actually going to unzip that file. So we'll come over here into my desktop. I'll double click there. Okay, so that's all unzipped there. I can open it up and I've got all of these different skills sitting there waiting for me. I've also got a license there so I can just double check what my usage rights are, how I can use these skills. Okay, so how do we get them from our desktop or from our computer into Claude? Super easy. So I'm going to open up Claude in my browser. If you have the desktop app, you can do it there as well. But we're looking for this little briefcase looking guy here called Customise. So we click on Customise and then we have this skills here. And you can see I've got a whole lot of skills here. Most of these I've built myself. Some of them I have purchased or I have been given or someone's passed them on to me. But what we're going to do is install this new one. So as I said, super easy. We click on add at the top. And then we just click on upload a skill. And then of course we can either drag and drop or we can click through and select the file. So we're going to do these one at a time. I'm going to start with the hook writing one and I'm going to click on that, and that is it done. So we can see right up the top here, I now have a new skill. So it's basically like I have trained Claude on how to write hooks for my social media. I can click on it again, I can read through all of the instructions in here, but there's just 3 little things that I want to show you. So number 1 is you can disable the skill with this toggle. So if I click on that toggle there, now if I was to ask Claude to help me write a hook for a social media post, it wouldn't actually use this training, so it wouldn't call on this skill. So then when I toggle it back on, the minute I ask for help with writing a hook, it goes, oh, I know how to do that, and it calls on the skill and it follows the instructions. So that's number one. Number two, under the three dots here, we can uninstall. So if you build your own skill to replace this, or maybe you find a better one, you can completely uninstall this from your Claude account. And then lastly, you can edit it. So editing it is really easy. We literally have a conversation back and forth with Claude. We tell it what we want to change, and that can be really useful because if you are downloading other people's skills, they don't always work exactly how you would like them to. So you can actually update the skill based on your own preferences, and that's basically it. So if I was to close this down and then install the next skill, I go back over here to Customise, make sure we're on skills down here, we go add, upload a skill, and then this time I might choose one of the other ones. Let's try the hook tactics. Let's install this one here. And so now we've got another skill there. We can click on it and we can go through and read all of the instructions there. So very, very simple. Skills are such a fantastic way to improve Claude and get it doing exactly what it is that you need Claude to help you with in your business.